What went into your mental prep?
Before mental prep is preparation, and that's work and studying and doing role playing, going back to the field of creativity, or thinking about scenario planning in the world of business. But preparation isn't just about like what the task forthcoming is. For me, what separates, I think, great, artists or athletes who prepare is they also work on what could possibly come yet unseen, and so prepare. Then once you have the preparation done through the practice and the work, then it's about getting the mind right. And Gabby references that, or other great athletes, which is how do you calm the mind? How do you make sure your body feels good? All of the hundreds of thousands of thoughts settle in before high achieving, high performance happens. So what I would do, and I spent a lot of time with a sports psychologist guy, John Elliott, who was sports psychologist in Major League Baseball and the NBA with Team USA. And he opened up my whole routine. I used to show up at games 2 hours early to mentally prepare. And then I started showing up 4.5 hours early. And the reason why was like, okay, I was a captain of my team and I was a high performer. And to be a captain, you have to cater to your teammates. And when they show up 2 hours before, that's time with, not time for yourself. So get there early. Simple, like fundamental shift, get there early, work on yourself, go through your physical preparation, your mindset. And then when the team comes, you're there as a leader. So I changed the time frame. And then what I do is I used to take a pregame nap. He was like, cut the nap. And the reason why he asked me that is, do you nap during the rest of the week? I was like, no. And he was like, so why would you nap before a game? Seems pretty risky. I was like, because I'm nervous or whatever and got a long time to wait for the game. Stop. So go for a walk, do something you enjoy, go to cinema. And then I would bring a notepad and I'd pack an extra lunch because I'd be in the locker room 4 hours before. So there's the emotionality of like what helps you as a high performer. And then there's the tactics and having a good support system, a therapist, sports psychologist, a teammate, a coach who can say like, tactically, what can we do to change this environment so you feel better is important.
You were on a podcast, The Deal with Jason Kelly and A-Rod, and I think you guys were talking a little bit about sports psychology,
Yeah.
and I loved what you and A-Rod called it. You called it performance training.
Essentially, it's about framing, and we do it naturally as humans, and we don't realize that's what we're doing. But it's so important to develop that skill. The other side of the coin is the phrase, right? So especially when you're faced with challenges, it's looking those challenges dead on and understanding why and taking the accountability and doing the work. And then you have to reframe. And that's like the positive outlook. What are we going to get out of this? Right. So the business faces a challenge. Instead of going, it's not working, you recognize that challenge to make change. And then if the change is right, you come on the other end and then you actually are glad that that challenge happened. So a reframe. I joke sometimes because Martin Scorsese is my favorite director, and he did The Irishman, and Robert De Niro. Totally strange comparison. Said that he paints houses, and he was basically like a hitman, right? And I often think that I work in a frame shop, and I frame pictures for a living, and that's a good thing. You want to make sure that you're constantly wrapping all of the challenges and life's unexpected circumstances with positivity.
Yeah. You know, my first job actually was working in a frame shop.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. If you sit around with another person long enough and you're present and you're conscious and you connect as beings, we're the same. And I believe in our psychic abilities. And I had no idea about you that you were, it worked at a frame shop for your first job. We're kind of in flow.